Lots of people have been asking me, hey Serial, what do you think about the Israeli-Hamas conflict? I don't know which flag to put next to my username on Twitter because I'm a fucking retard and can't formulate my own opinion, so I need someone to tell me what to think. Don't worry, I got you. Would you prefer a turd covered in shit or a shit covered turd? The first thing you need to understand is that you're choosing between two nations who'd love nothing more than to watch America burn. I'm not a centrist, by the way. Centrists are a bunch of fence-sitting queers who think not having an opinion on anything makes you superior. But Serial, that's anti-Semitic. You gotta think of the Jews, the Holocaust, Serial. All those poor Jews being fucked by the terrorists. Did you know those fucking goat fuckers burnt a baby to a crisp? Hypothetically, have you seen this fucking image? It's a fucking burnt baby. Don't you feel sorry for Israel? Maybe sorry enough to give us some more money? Look at this. It looks like fucking burnt chicken. They're killing civilians. They're decapitating babies. And you still don't know which side to pick? Which I would normally sympathize with if it weren't for the fact that Ben Sharpie and many news sources are just fucking lying about this. This is an AI generated image. I didn't just show you a baby corpse on screen. I wouldn't do that to you guys. Well, maybe I would, just to traumatize all the kids in the audience. And those dead babies? Oh, that's just a rumor. A rumor that the media used as a fact? Alright, what about that hospital killing 1,400 people? Oh, that was an Israeli rocket. Oh, what a funny misunderstanding. Hamas does kill civilians though, so Israel did get one thing right. You know, if they're lying about this much stuff, it makes you wonder what else they're lying about. It's almost like you shouldn't watch any mainstream media as a reliable source of information. That was just a joke, guys. I'm actually half Arabic and half Jewish. I lied about being white. I actually religiously watch CNN and the Daily Wire. I just wanted to sound cool for all the edgy kids out there. You know, shout out to CNN and the Daily Wire. Those gotta be some of my favorite news sources right next to Nazi propaganda from the 1940s. Seek Hal in the comments, you guys. Shalom. But my point being, if they can gain your sympathy by painting Hamas as more barbaric than they actually are, it justifies Israel's use of deadly force while still appearing as the good guys. You know, killing civilians, bombing hospitals, which are supposed to be non-combat zones, etc. Which, funny enough, they're actually doing far worse than Hamas, but we'll talk about that later. Hypothetically speaking, if you don't accept my fucking lies, you're obviously an anti-Semite. Which, Ben, I just gotta say, facts don't care about your feelings. And ironically enough, you're acting exactly like those fucking feminists and trannies you used to make fun of in 2016. Where the fuck are the facts and logic, bro? What the fuck? Why are you just making shit up and lying? What are you, the Biden administration? I thought you hated those guys. Like, you do see the irony in this. I'm having a little hissy fit because my pro-American audience doesn't believe we should be sending their tax dollars to fight Israel's war. Hypothetically, you're supposed to side with me. We need to intervene to prevent a world war. America first, you know, unless it's Israel. Like, where was this spirit when we were funding Zelensky's vacations? If you're that scared of a world war, you should be wanting to fund Ukraine too, right? Actually, I have a proposal. I think Ben will like this. If we cut our paychecks in half of it can go to Israel, and the other half can go to Ukraine. And what about you, the hardworking American? Ah, fuck you. You want to prevent a world war, right? I mean, they're basically decriminalizing shoplifting in Cali. So just move there and go loot like a goddamn animal. It's what our founding fathers always intended. You know, it's nice that Zelensky's wife spent $1 million of our tax dollars on a shopping spree in New York. I'm glad you're bringing our own money back into circulation, but at the same time, you shouldn't have fucking had it in the first place. Also, fuck New York. It's the second worst state in this country, right between Cali and Illinois. Thinking of your own country and your citizens should always be a priority for every leader, and I don't understand why that's seen as a bad thing. I don't like the idea of giving my money to the government to begin with, but at least in theory our money was going towards communal goods and services, like fixing potholes, which are not being fixed. I drive a shitbox sedan. I hit one of those things and my fucking car spontaneously combusts. Our money is also going towards our police force, who rightfully deals with criminals who overdose on fentanyl and then are praised like heroes, and are also more impactful than Martin Luther King Jr., as quoted by our own president. My point being, even if I despise the IRS, I thought my tax dollars are going towards good things to help this country, but that's not even what's happening. You're just giving our money away. Even if the Jews lied about all this info, well, what does it matter? Are you a Hamas supporter? You fucking support a terrorist organization? Are you in favor of these and yeah, bro, I fucking love terrorists, bro. All those YouTube commenters were wrong. This isn't an incel channel, it's a terrorist channel. Inshallah, my brothers, let us spread the word of Allah by killing our enemies in the West. And to my 3 female viewers, if I find out you've been showing your ankles in public, I'm gonna come to your house and fucking stone you to death. If you must know, my favorite terrorist organization is Hololive, and right below that is Hamas. Funny enough, I think Hololive has actually done more damage to American society than Hamas has. Hashtag free Pakistan. Wait, sorry, I meant Palestine. Palestine. Silly me, I get all those Middle Eastern countries mixed up. White people problems, am I right? I'm just like that one streamer guy who said we deserve 9/11. Fucking Hamza or some shit. I don't remember his name. It's probably some gay shit. It's Hassan Abi, and man, this guy looks like a fucking faggot. I don't know why this guy's supporting Al-Qaeda. They definitely would have thrown his flamboyant ass off a fucking building. Every morning, I wake up to that Al-Qaeda song. I can't understand the scribbles, but the words speak to me. My pre-workout is ISIS beheadings. Yeah, I'm a bit of a twisted psychopath. I'm gonna sidetrack a bit, even though this whole video is a sidetrack, which should tell you how much of a fuck I give about this conflict. But I never understood why non-Middle Eastern people turn over to groups like ISIS. Back before we bombed the shit out of ISIS, they were fucking recruiting European women to travel to Syria so they could fucking live with them. And then they always end up being tortured as sex slaves for the rest of their lives, which was probably only a few more years until they inevitably cut their heads off. Did you think you could change them from the inside? They're not your abusive ex-boyfriend, they're a fucking terrorist organization, like good fucking luck. Did it ever cross your mind that, yeah, maybe I shouldn't go over to a militant group that prides itself on killing everyone that isn't them, including other sects of Muslims? Did I mention they're a terrorist group? Like, I'll complain, but I'll take Chicago any day over fucking Iraq. Back on topic. This conflict is kind of a weird one, where the trend riders are actually split. In Russia, Ukraine, most people would say Ukraine and put a Ukrainian flag next to their name. In that George Fentanyl thing, everyone put BLM and ACAB next to their names. But this is a mixed bag because I see both Israeli and Palestine flags. There's a weird conflict going on here. Now, I asked a couple of my Muslim buddies, and the general consensus I gathered was they either A, just don't care about the conflict, or B, support Hamas. Just kidding, guys, that was a joke. Obviously, I'm not friends with any minorities. All my friends are of pure Aryan descent. I carry around a DNA test kit just to make sure you're 100% Aryan. If you're not straight, white, and a male, fucking unsubscribe. You're not permitted to watch my videos. And make sure to let everyone in the comments down below know so we can make fun of your inferior genes. My channel's gonna get banned anyway, so do you guys want to hear an anti-Semitic joke? Back on topic, the general consensus from people who support Hamas is the fact that they view Hamas as freedom fighters. They're taking back their land from Israel, which I can understand, but at the same time, you gotta understand war. If you win something in war, I think that's fucking fair. Our country was literally built on fucking that. We came from Spain and wiped out the Indians, and serial hot take, but that's fucking war. We fought the Indians and won fair and square. God just happened to bless us with guns and disease. And there's this misconception that the natives were all just love and peace, but that's not even accurate, because the Indians were killing each other amongst their own tribes well before we even got there. You know they had to make a fucking peace treaty just so they could attempt to fight us off, right? Like, these white men come bearing muskets and terrible sitcoms. Perhaps we should set aside our differences to fight them. I don't know, maybe you should have prayed for a few AR-15s instead of a plentiful harvest. My point being, Israel won the war and took the land fair and square, and Hamas is just trying to reclaim it. So you could view Hamas as the aggressor even if they did get completely fucked. But you also have to consider that Hamas fucking hates America too. They're not your friends. I thought it was really funny when Mia Khalifa showed her support for Hamas, which is just pure irony. Because I guarantee if she stepped even 1 foot in Gaza, it's Durka Durka Muhammad Jihad, let's stone this whore and cut her fucking head off. Allah save me! Well, now that I'm saying it out loud, maybe Hamas isn't so bad. I mean, that's if I can look past the fact that they'd fuck my pet goat and cut my hands off for being American. You know, maybe if I was just a little more accepting of different cultures, then I think I'd be a Hamas supporter. I mean, what, I just gotta blow myself up in a crowded area and I'm magically gifted 72 virgins, a Rolls Royce, and free American Express Platinum? Wait, why the fuck would I need this in heaven? Oh bro, that's to commemorate you hitting the Pentagon to destroy any evidence of the missing $2 trillion, as well as an excuse to kill Saddam Hussein. What? Just like Israel, Hamas is committing war atrocities. You know, like killing civilians and that's actually it. I couldn't find any beheadings or them killing babies. The way they described it, Hamas was stacking bodies like Roe v. Wade. Like, they're not shy about their war crimes. There's plenty of body cam footage of them just gutting down civilians. So you would think amongst all the war footage they're publicly showing, you'd see a couple beheadings or burning babies as a fear tactic. Like, one of my critiques of Hamas was that they're using fear tactics like ISIS or Mexican cartels, but the supposed footage of these gruesome acts doesn't seem to exist, so I can't even make that point properly. The main difference between Hamas and Israel is Hamas aren't trying to win your support through pity. They'll just show what whatever war crimes they're committing. They don't give a shit. Israel also commits atrocities, but they still play the victim. They bomb hospitals, shoot rockets and whatnot that I already discussed. It's kind of like a false flag operation, except the atrocities aren't even committed. Israel can just create the image that their opposition is using deadly force to justify their own crimes. And every news source I've seen seems to make Hamas out like it's the next ISIS, which isn't accurate in the slightest because they haven't done anything to warrant that reputation. ISIS had a goal to kill everyone that wasn't them and strike fear through gruesome videos and terrorist attacks. That's not what I'm seeing with Hamas. But that's not to say they don't fucking hate America like any Islamic militia group. It just so happens that it's not very high on their priority list. They're mainly just trying to take some land and kill some Israeli officials rather than gruesome fear tactics, which is what's described in the media. I'd also like to point out that there's a chance our tax dollars are also indirectly supporting Hamas. If you didn't know, we left $7 billion worth of weapons in Afghanistan for the Taliban to take, so whether they've given some to Hamas, I guess we'll never know. It's kind of funny to think that we're funding both sides of a war that has nothing to do with us. Alright, so we've kind of established that both sides kind of suck ass. I don't know why anyone would support either, but this begs the question, what should we do? Ben was making this huge point about how we should interfere with the war to prevent World War III, which as of recording this, that hasn't happened yet, and I doubt it will. But I think we should just stay out of it. We got our own problems to deal with. Israel is a legitimate state. I'm sure they can handle their own wars. Like, come on, Sleepy Joe, just finish Trump's wall already. Our enemies are with Mexico now. Let's finish that fucking wall and add a bunch of M134s. Because after the cartels get bored with killing each other, you know they're coming for us. We gotta be prepared, man. And I guess there's also Canada, but Canada is just a gayer version of us. You know, we could declare war on Canada and within 2 hours Trudeau would surrender Canada to us. It's not like pussy fag Trudeau's gonna do anything. He's too busy locking his citizens' bank accounts for hurting his feelings. Like, look at all this land. We could have another 50 states, and we can finally consider Alaska part of the greater USA. Then Hawaii is the only loner state separate from the rest of us. And Trudeau Castro will just cry to his husband about pronouns or some fucking gay shit. Honestly, I'd say let Hamas and Israel duke it out, and maybe Hamas will win by some miracle. And then maybe Hamas will fuck up and accidentally execute an American journalist, and then we can just drone strike them into oblivion like we did with ISIS. Did I mention that I kind of don't care about this conflict or most political events in general? Okay, maybe I'm a little invested just cause I love the legitimate state of Israel, teehee. And ever since the attack, I've noticed there's a significant decrease in pornography. One of my buddies who frequents 4chan said there's a significant decrease in BBC spam on the B-board, but that might just be a coincidence. My working theory is that Ben Shapiro is too busy blocking all the anti-Semites on Twitter. His former fanbase is turning on him. He has a lot of blocking to do and doesn't have time to be making new BBC threads. That's probably why his doctor wife sleeps in a different room so she doesn't fucking have to hear that keyboard clacking. Back to Mia Khalifa. I always liked Mia Khalifa. Not because she took facials wearing a hijab and the entirety of the Middle East wants her dead, or her grossly oversized silicone tits, or cause she taught Meme Academy, but because Professor Khalifa is a funny woman to me. I like her retardation more than anything. It's funny to witness, but that shouldn't be a surprise since intellect probably isn't a high stat of hers. Or maybe she is smart and purposefully drawing attention to herself, and I'm just the retard. My point being, this is someone who openly hates the porn industry while still working in it, which I also hate the porn industry, but I'm not in it, unless you guys want me to. If you guys want a serial OnlyFans, it'll be great. It'll be me shooting homeless people with paintball guns and beating drag queens up with bags of pennies. Man, it'll be so fun. I also throw in a few pictures of my cock just for the hell of it. But I thought Mia Khalifa losing her income for stating that she supports Hamas was pretty funny. I guess she forgot who owns the fucking porn industry, as well as every shitty piece of degeneracy in America. Not saying anything that could get me Epsteined, I'm just your average Leafy clone. But if you know, you know. Although, you do have to wonder, man, I wish there was a connection there. I guess we'll never know. So there you have it, retarded white women of Twitter. Which side do you choose? The oppressed minority or what the media tells you? Truly a hard decision in these times. Anyways, if you're retarded enough to watch this far, hit that fucking subscribe button and share this on your Facebook so your grandma can die of a heart attack when she hears me say the word fuck. And as always, make sure to drop out of school, do drugs, and have unprotected sex. Real serial tards know that's my life motto and I say that in every video, so fuck you.